Okay.
Hi Rohan, how are you?
Yeah, I am fine. And what about you?
I'm good, thank you. So is the power cut and all those network issues resolved at your home?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sure.
Okay, okay, great.
Yeah,
Can you tell us something about yourself?
yeah, yes. First of all, thanks to giving me this opportunity
Mhm.
to introduce myself. My name is Rohan Vikas Sagre. I have completed my graduation in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I
Mhm.
have total 3.2 years of experience in software testing field, and as a QA, I work on both manual and automation testing. And
Mhm.
I have experience in both domain, that is investment banking and healthcare domain projects.
Mhm.
As a part of testing team, my roles and responsibilities to as a manual tester,
Mhm.
to understanding user stories, test case preparation, test case
Mhm.
execution, and
Mhm.
reporting defects through Jira. In my organization, currently we use Jira as a defect tracking purpose, or it is a project management purpose. Okay, and
Right.
I have experience in sanity testing, functional
Mhm.
testing, regression testing, retesting, like that, and basic knowledge of API testing and database testing.
Mhm.
And from last 1.5 years, I am working in automation testing.
Mhm.
And currently, in automation testing, currently we use DDF framework, and for that we use Selenium WebDriver as a tool and Java as a language. And as an automation tester, my roles and responsibilities to identify test cases for automation and developing form or test classes as per the requirement of framework, and making the test scripts and execute them, also review them. And I'm well aware about the agile scrum framework, and
Mhm.
also attend the meetings such as sprint planning meeting,
Mhm.
scrum meeting, retrospective meeting, sprint review meeting, like that. That's it all about me.
Mhm. Wow, wonderful. So very
Yeah,
good
thank you.
introduction you have given, and you covered most of the points, and it was very crisp. So that was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you tell us something about the automation framework?
Yeah. Currently, we use DDF framework, data-driven framework, in my
Mhm.
organization,
Mhm.
and there are for that we use Maven project, and there are different folders in Maven project like SRC test Java, SRC main Java, Maven dependency, and form.xml. In SRC test Java, all the test classes are created or stored,
Mhm.
and all the library files, like that. And in SRC main Java, there are we create a form classes,
Mhm.
and form.xml, in that we store all the dependencies. And
Mhm.
in Maven dependency, all the downloaded jar files are stored in Maven dependency, like
Mhm.
that. And for that, we use currently we use Selenium WebDriver as a tool and Java as a language.
Mhm.
And in that, we create a supermost class, that is a base class,
Mhm.
and which is extended to test class, that is the inheritance operation.
Mhm.
uh, and in our framework we use TestNG, different TestNG annotations for creating. We use TestNG for making test classes, and uh, for by using different annotations and keywords. Uh, we use the different annotations and keywords,
Mhm.
and like grouping of test cases and parallel test execution, like that. And also we use assertions for our test case fail or pass, verification of test cases pass or fail, like that. We use assertion, and we create different folders like browser, screenshot, priority file, property file, like that. In property file we stored all the login credentials,
Mhm.
and in browser folder we stored all the .exe file like chrome diver .exe file, like that. And in screenshot we stored failed test cases or any problem occur we take a screenshot and store in that folder like that. And also we use log4j jar file like that. And extend reporter we use for automation. Because of yeah, he gives because there is a pictorial representation of particular test cases or something, and every time it get proper result or proper report stored, it is a open source reporting library also. So that we use extend reporter. And also we create another class that is a utility class. In utility class, all the Selenium related methods we mention that or create in that utility class. And also we use GitHub repository for storing or maintain the source code of application for that purpose. And also we like Jenkins means in that we continuous integration tool. In that way, particular test case we means developer set the or developer picks the proper timing whenever we run that particular test case. For that, we set a proper time set for that. For that, we use Jenkins continuous integration tool like that.
Okay,
This is
wonderful.
all about framework.
Yes, yes, sounds good. Okay. Now consider a scenario where you are working on automation. You are mentioning you are using Git as the version control tool. Now,
Yeah.
for example, there are 10 features which you have automated, and uh, those are already pushed in production, right? Now there
Yeah.
are remaining 5. So other 5 features are also there, which are still in development process, and you are working on them. You are creating automation scripts. You are developing automation scripts, right? So out of 15 features, 10 features are live. So those are pushed into the production. 5 features are still in testing. Those features are not pushed in production. But from automation side, you are working on those 5 features, right? Now, how will you make sure that your code changes, your script related changes, whichever you do for those 5 features, 11 to 15, should not get impacted to those 10 features, which are already in production?
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. I I couldn't get your question, but I will try. Yeah.
You want me to
For
repeat
that,
this question? Do you want me to explain it again?
ha, yes, yes, sure.
Okay, fine. Let's say there is a product. Okay, you are working on investment banking and healthcare. So there is a healthcare product which has got 15
Yeah.
features. Okay. Now out of
Okay.
15 features, you are working on automation of all those 15 features. All those are eligible candidates for automation. Now 10
Okay.
features have been moved to production. So all those automation
Production.
scripts you have also moved to production, right? Five
Yeah. Yeah.
features out of 15, 5 features are still in development phase, testing phase is going on, and you are working on parallel automation of those 5 scripts. Now,
Right. Right. Right.
how will you make sure that whatever scripts that you are working on does not impact the already existing your automation code, which
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. Currently, we use agile methodology. Okay.
Hmm.
And for we use that in that agile methodology there is a print wise release or product wise release or module wise release. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like that, there is no impact.
Hmm.
There is no impact for 10 features,
Hmm.
remaining 5.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so this is
So that,
features, but then how about your automation? Your automation code would be there,
yeah.
right? Those 10 features are there that you have already completed, developed, testing, and pushed into production. Now remaining 5 features, but your code base is same, right? So
Okay.
how will you maintain, how will you ensure that whichever new code you are pushing, that does not impact your production code? While doing automation, you are also doing one sort of development, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
mm.
Yeah, I am little bit confused about that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll give you a hint. In Git, you can create two
Okay.
branches, two separate branch
Yeah.
code base. One would be dedicated to production. Once it is done,
Okay.
you create a copy of that, clone that repository and create a separate branch. One is production branch, one is development branch. The production branch has all
Yeah.
that code of 10 features. Development branch has code of 15 features. But whatever changes you will do, that will be not impacting the production branch, because that is a separate intact branch. So two branches you
Okay.
have to make, right? So one will be production, because
Yeah.
tomorrow it might happen, you might get some
There is always present, yeah, master branch like.
absolutely. Yeah, that concept you can
Yeah.
tell, right? Okay, now let me
Yeah.
share my screen. This is a code. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
This is a code that has been written by one of your team member, right? Now
Yeah.
he has,
Okay.
yeah, he has left the organization. Now you need to uh, work on this particular code. So first of all, you will review this code, right? And
Okay.
yeah, then you might work on this code further, right? So let me just keep in the slideshow mode. Yeah. So now
Yeah.
will you use this code as it is, or will you update this code? So consider this is a code which checks which day is present,
Yeah.
and there is a condition
Okay.
related to Tuesday, right? So accordingly, it will update Excel, some cell in the Excel file. First question, do you think this code is correct?
Uh, I'm not sure.
Mhm. No worries. See, it's a Java related code, right? So you can see, you can
Yes.
print out such kind of things. See, check days are present. C should be
Check.
small. Sorry. Again, count C should be
Yeah.
small. Numbers N should be
Small. Right.
small, right.
Right. Right.
N needs to be taken care over here. And there is no comments. So comments are acting as a deodorants in our right code, like
Right.
so there are no comments. So how will you understand this code? So first of all, you will have to understand it, and then you will have to refactor it, and then you will have to use it accordingly, right?
Okay.
So this is how you can tell. And there is no try catch mechanism, right? There is no logging
Yeah.
mechanism
Right. Right.
over here, right? So all
Yeah.
those things are missing. So you can tell upfront that there are a lot of issues in the code. First of all, you would need some time to refactor it, then you can get it reviewed, and then you can reuse this code. Okay.
Right. Right. Sure.
Okay, now there was one fine day on Monday. Let's say I am your team member. Okay, this question is related to Git, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to clone a Git repository to my web server, but every time I'm getting this kind of error, right? Host key verification field.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think? How will you resolve this kind of issue?
Host key.
Hmm.
In that cloning means we create a means we what you can say we for that we create a new repository that is a git clone that is a
Hmm.
git in
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. So my intention is to clone one particular Git repository. Let's say from one particular team member, I have got some URL and I need to clone that particular Git repository. It's a URL, or you can say it's a name of a repository that he has told me in Skype. And now I'm trying to clone his repository to get that project access, right? But every time I'm getting this error, host key verification failed. So how will you get this issue resolved so that you can clone the Git repository?
Sorry, sir.
No worries. See, this is a mock interview. Even if you don't know the answers
Yeah.
of the question, it is totally fine. But you will have to be prepared for such kind of questions in a real-time interview. Not the even
Yes,
if you're
sir.
not able to give the exact answer, that is fine. But you should be able to think, okay, this error might be related to this. I'll give you a
Yeah.
hint.
Okay.
This is the answer. I'll explain that. But see, SSH kind of encryption I'm using, right? Host key
Yes,
verification
yes.
field, right? So it is something related to SSH public key to your GitHub account, right? Maybe
Okay.
SSH public key is not set up properly. Some key, some alphabet or some character has been misplaced, right? So you can verify if the SSH keys have been set up correctly. You can run SSH-keygen. This is one of the command, right? You can enter the
Okay.
password, keep some default path over there. Then there is also a public key that you need to add to your GitHub account, right? And then you need to clone it, right? Then it would work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this,
Got it.
so yeah. So there are two things in an interview. The interviewer will be interested in. First, did you identify the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the problem? Like that's a W related question. Then he will ask, if you are able to identify the problem correctly, then how will you solve it? So first is what part, then comes how part, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then you can tell why such kind of problem came. So what, why, how, right? So that thing you have to take care. Okay.
Yeah.
Now consider a scenario where you are working in healthcare domain. So there is a requirement from client on one fine Monday. You received an email from them that there are 10,000 patients in the software, in the application, and you need to verify the patient's login is working fine or not, right? For those all those 10,000 records. So
Yeah.
how will you try to, what should I say? How will you tell
Login
them that,
functionality.
yeah, login functionality is there, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how will you handle this
Uh,
scenario? Hmm. 10,000
yeah.
records are there.
Yeah. In healthcare domain project, means in my project. Okay. In my project, there are different models,
Hmm.
and first of all, uh, appointment team. Appointment team. I uh, sorry, sir.
No worries. See, there are two approaches that you can take. Even if you haven't worked on that problem, on that kind of problem statement, think from a high level point of view. Let's say, think from 1,000 feet point of view. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
you have to validate all those 10,000 records. Why I was emphasizing on 10,000? Because it cannot be done manually. You will have to go with automation. Now, in your resume, you have also mentioned database testing. Now, map, you have got good experience in Selenium automation. Now try to map how will you do database testing with Selenium automation, right? Some database connection you will have to make, some string, some query you will have to fire from via automation, right? So there, it is a possibility database testing can be done using Selenium, right? So you can
Yeah.
use JDBC, Java Database Connectivity, that is a SQL level API that you can use to execute SQL statements, right? Then think if the Oracle is their database or if MS Access file related database is there. See, I didn't mention what kind of database. It can be anyone. So you can try to answer by taking into reference one particular database. It's good that you didn't got any database option in the question. So you can take any database, right? So JDBC, MS Access file you can keep in your utility you were mentioning in your framework, or some kind of file reader class is there. And then you can read that database file and you can read all the username and password one by one in a for loop and you can try to run. Second possibility is via JMeter. In JMeter, you can just record login functionality for one user and then you can simulate that particular count for 10,000. So you will come to know. You can keep assertions. Whether you after login successful, you are getting 200 OK as a response code, 201 OK or 200 OK. You're getting some
API
message
testing.
login successful, like that.
Yeah.
So that's how you can do. Okay. What is the difference between Cheerio and Selenium?
What is the difference between?
Cheerio and Selenium. Cheerio is also an automation tool. Hmm.
Yeah, I am don't aware about the Cheerio.
Hmm.
I am aware about the well aware about the Selenium.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So let this be an open question for the people who are watching this video. What is the difference between Cheerio and Selenium?
Selenium. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, how do you find XPath?
Yeah. By using locator, we find the XPath. In that we use find element and find elements method. Yeah. There are different locator types: ID, name, class name, link test, partial link test, CSS selector, XPath, like that. And for XPath, we use find element, and in by class, we use find element and find elements method, like that.
Okay. Now consider there is a website
Yeah.
www.ipl.com, right? And whenever you navigate to that website, there is some kind of ad that has been displayed on that website. Yes, so there is a pop-up.
Okay.
There's an ad coming up over there. Now your goal is to click on that close button or do not show this particular pop-up and perform some actions on the ipl.com
Yeah.
website. So how will you achieve this via automation?
Yeah, for that, in that, create a pop-up, okay? And to close that pop-up, we click on that cancel button, okay? For that, we use driver dot switch to dot sorry driver dot switch to dot alert, okay? And for that, we use alert dot cancel alert dot cancel, like that.
Now I'm sharing my screen, giving you one scenario. It's important. Let me know once my screen is visible. Okay. Is it visible?
Visible, yes.
Oh. Okay, now this is the scenario. Oh,
Yeah.
somehow this text reached me. Okay, now there is an automation script A. Some automation script you have. A is just a random pick I had to. Now, when you run this automation script in your local machine, it runs fine. Okay. When you run this automation script on your colleague's machine, it is running fine. When you run this same automation script via DevOps, so machine is created on fly, right? VM is created on fly based on whatever parameters configuration you would have. The script is getting failed. What can be the possible reasons behind it?
Yeah, there is main reason behind that there is an environment issue.
Okay, what kind of environment issue?
Environment issue means in that uh, platform is not available for that, and
What kind of platform is not available? See, your answer is partially correct. Environment issues can be there, but just environment issue won't help you. You will have to elaborate your answer a bit. What kind of environment issues? Is it okay, you try first, then I'll give that answer. Any idea?
and in that problem from DB team, there is a deployment problem.
Let's say deployment happened. That is why script A got executed. See, if the deployment would not have happened, then while downloading the automation, you would have got some Maven dependency related error or Git. So automation would not have initiated itself, but script A has started executing, and it it uh, it triggered, it executed, and that's why it failed. Right? So it has failed.
Yeah.
What can be the reason behind that?
Sorry.
Okay, see, let's say you had to click on login button. Okay, consider script A is such in which you are clicking on login button. But whichever machine that has got created on the fly, which has got this machine is there, right? Which has got created. In that, the screen resolution is such that login button is going out of the screen. So script won't be able to find that. So it's an environment issue, screen resolution issue, right?
Yeah.
So it will fail definitely because it didn't find the button. Simple.
Yeah.
Right? Second
Right.
environment issue can be that the Chrome browser or the browser, whichever was there, that is not getting compatible with the driver that you have used. I'm thinking for now that let's ignore that you are using WebDriver Manager for now. Okay. So that can be one of the potential reason, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Rohan, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Yeah. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
despite having some network connectivity issues, and
Yeah.
I think it went well, right? I was able
Yeah.
to see you and hear you as well throughout this interview,
Oh,
right? Yeah. So thank you
okay.
so much,
Yeah.
and wish you all
Yeah.
the
Thank you,
best.
sir.
Yeah, wish you all the
Yeah.
best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some questions written जो भी हमें इंटरव्यू में जो भी क्वेश्चन पूछा है वो मैंने राइट करके रखे हैं, वो आपको मैं भेज देता हूँ.
Yes, yes. Send that details, send that list of questions company wise, right?
Yeah.
If you can just
Okay.
share that Excel file in a very raw format, like this ABC
Yeah.
company, 1 to 10 questions, XYZ company, 1 to 5 questions. Simple, right?
Yeah.
And thank you so
Yeah.
much
Yeah. I
in
will say.
advance. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. 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 Most welcome. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.